Why African wild dogs are better hunters than lions. The savannah looks calm. Too calm. A herd grazes peacefully, ears twitching, but not running. Then suddenly, chaos. Not from a roar, not from a charge, but from something faster than fear itself. A pack erupts from the horizon, spreading out like living shadows. No warning, no hesitation, just precision. And in that moment, the outcome is already decided. Because these aren't lions. These are hunters that almost never fail. What if everything you thought about Africa's greatest predator was wrong? For centuries, one animal has ruled the imagination of the wild. The lion, a symbol of power, strength, absolute dominance. They are called kings for a reason. But the truth is, the best hunter on the African plains isn't the strongest. It's not the loudest. And it doesn't rely on fear. It's the African wild dog. A predator so efficient, so coordinated, that once a hunt begins, there's almost no escape. This isn't about who wins in a fight. This is about who wins the hunt. And in the wild, that's all that matters. Because out here, survival isn't decided by power. It's decided by success. Section 1. Built for the kill. African wild dogs don't look intimidating at first glance. Lean bodies, long legs, large rounded ears, almost fragile compared to the heavy muscle of a lion. But that appearance is deceptive. Every part of their body is engineered for one thing: endurance. Their lungs are larger. Their bodies run cooler. Their legs are built for distance, not bursts. They don't sprint to win. They run to outlast. And when the hunt begins, it's not random. The pack locks onto a single target, usually the weak, the injured, or the unlucky. Then they move, not as individuals, but as a single coordinated force. They fan out, silently communicating through movement and sound, cutting off escape routes, predicting turns before they happen. The prey runs. The pack follows. Not rushing, not panicking, just relentless. Minute after minute. The distance closes. Energy drains. The prey slows. And that's when the pack strikes. Not with one killing blow, but with overwhelming precision. A system designed to finish what it starts. Now imagine the opposite strategy. High risk, high reward, and failure most of the time. Section 2. The lion's gamble. Lions are the definition of raw power. Muscle, claws, crushing jaws. They don't need endurance. They rely on one perfect moment. A lion hunt begins in silence. Bodies pressed low to the ground, eyes locked, every step measured. They must get close, closer than seems possible, because their entire strategy depends on surprise. Then, explosion, a sudden burst of speed, dust flies, the herd scatters, and the lion commits everything to that single attack. But here's the reality. If that moment fails, if the prey reacts just in time, if the distance is even slightly off, the hunt ends. Immediately. No long chase, no recovery. Just wasted energy and hunger. That's why most lion hunts don't succeed. Not because they're weak, but because their method leaves no room for error. So what happens when one predator fails most of the time, and the other almost never does. Section 3. The brutal numbers. In the wild, numbers don't lie. They decide everything. Lions succeed in roughly 20 to 30% of their hunts. That means the majority of attempts end in failure. Days can pass without a meal. But African wild dogs operate on a different level. Their success rate can reach up to 80%. Think about that. Almost every hunt ends with food. That consistency changes everything. It means less energy wasted, more frequent meals, higher survival rates for the pack, and a system that keeps working again and again. They don't depend on luck. They depend on execution. And execution is what keeps them alive. But being the best hunter doesn't mean you're untouchable. In fact, it can make you a target. Section 4. Power versus performance. The African savanna isn't fair. It doesn't reward effort. It rewards dominance. And dominance belongs to size, to strength, to intimidation. Which is why lions still rule, not as the best hunters, but as the ultimate enforcers. When a lion pride approaches a wild dog kill, the outcome is almost inevitable. The dogs hesitate. They assess the risk. And then they retreat. Because no matter how skilled they are, they can't match the raw power of a lion. Hyenas do the same. Relentless scavengers, always watching, always waiting. For wild dogs, every successful hunt comes with pressure. Eat fast. Stay alert. Be ready to lose everything. Sometimes they consume their prey in minutes, because hesitation could mean starvation. It's a brutal reality to be the best hunter and still not be the one in control. So what really defines greatness in the wild? Power or perfection? Final section. The real king. The lion will always be the symbol, the face of strength, the icon of the wild. But beneath that image lies a different truth. The African wild dog is something else entirely. A master of coordination, a predator of precision, a hunter that turns teamwork into a weapon. They don't dominate through fear. They dominate through success. And in a world where every missed hunt could mean death, that kind of efficiency is unstoppable. Because the most dangerous predator isn't the one that wins sometimes. It's the one that almost never loses. Ending out on the savanna, two predators rule in different ways. One through power, one through perfection. But when the chase begins and the dust starts to rise, only one guarantees the outcome. And it's not the one you expected.